these are the J-Speed inner fender braces. So these triangulate the firewall, so it's a firewall fender brace. Pretty awesome. I've had these on a similar one on a similar car. It made a massive difference, especially on the old JDM stuff, because they tend to be a bit flexy. Pretty simple install. We need to take out the wheel well, and not a lot of tools required to take out the wheel, the fender liner. Little couple pry tools, Phillips screwdriver, magazine. I'll show you what that's for later. There's the stuff there. I think we need a 12 mil, maybe a 10 mil socket. We'll see. Just took the wheels off the breaker bar. Do come with instructions, all in Japanese, of course. So thank you, Google Translate. Okay, my Google Translate skills, it also says I need a 12 and 14 mil wrench. So, okay, you want the car up in the air, the entire front end, not just one side at a time, because you don't want it chest twisting, I suppose. And take the wheels off, and it says we don't need to entirely remove the fender liner, but I think I will to make it easier to show you guys. Okay, start pulling out the screws. All right, well there it is. It's going in here. So there's a factory little, kind of weak little brace here. That's just twisted basic steel. But there's our hinges and all our bolt holes we need to access. So let's get going and shim up the door, like the instructions say, with the magazine. I get about 3/4 of that magazine. The whole thing, I couldn't close the door. So about 3/4, I could just get it closed. Because it says if it's and do not open the door once you undo these bolts, or your door is going to fall off. It says they should be easy to remove. They shouldn't be holding any weight. So let's have a look. There's our brace. Okay, so we've only got to do one of the top bolts, and then we do both of the bottom bolts. So let's have a little look, see what our Google Translate instructions say to do. So we're going to do the very top bolt up there, because you only have to undo the top one, but you do undo both of them here. So it says that, like I said, if you got a lot of tension there on the bottom one, then put more pages in the door. Now it is a 12. And that is going to be really tough to do. There we go, the old double wrench trick. And that was able to break them free. So yeah, grab yourself, because you doubt you'll have a really long 12 to get the leverage. So get yourself your 12 and something else, and make it long. If you don't know how to do it, you just kind of loop it through like that. There we go. Looks like I got the pages right, because these are coming out with no resistance now. So the bolt up the top, yeah, not a lot of room in there, but getting a ratcheting wrench is very much needed for this. And we're only undoing the top bolt, so we're not undoing the bottoms yet. So we'll just clear that out. There's two there, so you only do the one. And once you kind of break it free, yeah, it kind of just goes in finger tight. But yeah, definitely want a ratcheting wrench to take care of this. Now with well, I got the top one out, which is what we need, only the one. These two are just loose, they're finger tight, easy to remove. Now that little cross brace thing, that's the 14 mil. We need to loosen that up. So you need to take out the those two bolts there for sure on the back end of it, and one of them at the top. And we're just going to swing it out of the way and slide in our big brace. Oh man, they're tight.
Later that day.
Okay, I've got the bottom two out of this little mini brace thing here that's here, and the bottom of the top one here. The top one is so hard to get at. So in instructions it says to try to pull it down. So grab hold, pull it, and that'll actually loosen the bolt a little bit, and then it can at least get in there with a wrench to get it out. So that's a tricky one, but you don't have to fully take that one out either. It says just to loosen it so you can slip the thing underneath. Two bolts are out. Now these are, obviously door bolts are long, but the ones that hold the fender brace are massive. Anyway, I don't know why. Here we go. So let's get this going through this section here. So that goes on top. Slides in under that bolt we left in up the top there. And there we go, should be all lined up. Should be, but is it? There we go. Okay. Yep. That looks good. Okay, now I'm going to start putting some bolts back in, doing them in just finger tight loose to get started. These big ones up top. Now we've got new bolts for this. They give us 6 replacement bolts for the factory ones for the door hinges, which I don't know why. They are exactly the same size. I think they're still, yeah, they're exactly the same size. What do I do? I'm going to run the factory originals because, like I said, they're the exact same size in length, and these go in better because I got a little bit of taper on the tips. So we're going to run the originals. Everything lines up perfectly. This is bloody good fitment stuff. Now we're just going to go through and tighten it all down because a bit trickier now because there's actually more material in there, especially that top door hinge, but we can get in there. So tidy it up, snug it all down. Torque specs, not sure, doesn't have it posted here, but you can't get a torque wrench in anyhow, just very tight on the doors. That's the key, I think. Very, very, very tight, as tight as I can go. Just realized that I can get in with a tiny 14 mil on an extension and a little ratchet through this hole to do at least one of the bolts, and it's the top bolt of that factory fender brace that was already in there. So that made life a little bit easier. So there's a tip for you. It took a bit of one click at a time wrenching, but got it done. The trickiest one was the one very much on the top. So I think I probably should have tried to snug that one up when I had everything hanging a bit. But anyway, it's in there. Everything is rock solid. Now I'm just going to poke my wire out for my side marker and then put the fender liner back in. But that's it. That's job done. So massive bit of bracing on this. Really, you know, the stock one remains. You probably could take it out, but might as well leave it in. It's there. And you've got this huge, very rigid brace to firm up the firewall. So looking forward to taking this for a test drive because, yeah, we've got stiffer coilovers in now, so that should be quite noticeable. So noticeable difference with the inner fender brace, particularly, yeah, bumps and ledges and stuff like that, like coming in and out of driveways. And this car already had front rear sway bar. It's got front rear sway bars, but it's also got front rear strut braces. But the front end, just there's no more creaking up in the front of the car here. Like it kind of creaked in the A-pillar and it got stopped completely. So definitely recommend it. Well, turn in sharpness, you know, I didn't really notice much difference there, but I haven't been on track with it, and these are just a road-based tire. They're like an eco commuter tire, so with a higher grip tire and on the track, I'm sure it's going to be a noticeable difference on that turn-in feel. But highly recommend that one if you're doing some racing. They're not expensive, and they are kind of fiddly, but not hard to install, so definitely should be on your to-do list if you've got an older JDM car.